Welcome to Master Trader's Weekly Trade Review. I'm Dan Gibby, and in this review, I'm going to show you how we trade what we call the Master Trader buy setup, which is a pullback in an uptrend. And I'm going to show you these particular examples that have occurred after momentum bullish moves. We are technical base pattern traders. No setup, no action. Then we take that picture of a bullish setup or bearish, of course, all patterns work equally, long and short on any time frame, and we see where is that pattern in connection with the trend, support or resistance, multiple time frame analysis, is it showing relative strength or weakness, what are the broader markets doing, and then we determine if we have a high probability setup or not. Every one of these little simple red and green candlesticks are what we call bullish money patterns. They work on all time frames. So I'm going to focus on this one today, the Master Trader buy setup, and with an emphasis on their after momentum moves and these examples I'm going to show you. But every time you have an uptrend, then we have our bullish tools that we use to try to get on board bullish uptrends, which is higher pivot highs, higher pivot lows. And this is a retracement and reversal on minor support. There's different flavors of the turn, which we can get into, but every time you see me talk about a chart, all of those Master Trader concepts, which combined make up our approach, are what makes something a high probability trade. So Wynn Hotel, this is one we gave our subscribers last week. It had, you see here, it's kind of in a wide trading range. So you have a flat 20, or flat 50, and the 20 MA is finally poking up after this bar the day we entered. But let's start our analysis down here. This was a big gap, went deep into this prior retracement. Now I have my Master Trader buy setup, which are these controlled retracements on support, in this case the 20 and the 50 MA, and then we're waiting for pictures of a turn on support. And that's exactly what we got here. So it traded under this bar's low, bottoming tail, and range expansion bar, which had a bullish engulfing close. So that's a buy setup over the high of this bar. It happened to gap above the entry, and that's why I say here we buy the 5-minute high. This is a closed trade that's in the members area for all of our subscribers. There's more data to the left, obviously, but we show the symbol, the date, the strategy, how many shares the computer calculates based on a $300 max loss, how many days it was open, the capital required for the trade, etc. And so I just snippeted off this part, but in the comments it shows the cumulative history of the trade. So we bought it here at 65 bucks on the gap up. It's a buy setup, and bullish RE is range expansion engulfing bar at the 20 moving average relative strength. This was way outperforming the broader markets. And so we always give the technical setup for learning, and with this one we sold into 3 different pieces. Trail the back third. In 5 days we made 20% return on capital, 531 bucks on the calculated position size. So this one, it wasn't like a momentum move up, but it was a big bullish gap up. Now, it makes absolutely no sense to buy on a big gap like that. We need some type of continuation pattern, pullback. It needs to create support over time. We have many different tools to determine, but what I'm showing you today is now this is a bullish. It had a little breakdown failure. This was a buy setup here that never triggered. Then it had a breakdown failure. It snapped right back up to these overlapping bars, and it went sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4 bars. This red bar is what we call a tail, T-E-L-L, because the bottoming tail, notice that it traded under 4 prior bars and closed with a tail, still red, but we gave it as a long the following day over the high of the red bar, because then it would be red bar ignored and everything I just said. It's a big bottom at the 20 MA after a big pro gap breakout, and then we just went into trail mode. Look at this one, another 5-day swing trade that we did last week. 49% return on capital, 650 buck gain, and that was just a very, very high probability trade setup right there. Lily here was another one. So this one had a gap breakout from this big trading range. Again, you see the wide trading range, flat 20 and 50. You don't buy up here, of course, because then your stop would have to be down here, which doesn't make sense, risk to reward. We wait and watch for a controlled pullback, reversal on support. Here's minor support, which is a prior pivot high. This was an ugly red bar, followed by a big, pretty engulfing green bar. We call that a bullish 180 reversal. So we actually bought a half lot over the red bar, waited for this bar to close, and then the following day bought the back half over this, and that again is shown in the comments here. Right where this arrow is pointed, it had an amazing run. My up alarms were going off. I'm like, wow, what's going on right here? So we sold half at 338, so almost $9.50 gain in 2 days, and then we just go into trail mode for the back half. PDD, this one's a little different, but I'll show you the buy setup. I got 2 pages here to show you. So here's my big bullish momentum move. How do I get on board? Well, the answer is I don't know. I mean, look at these moving averages. So this was in pain, had a nice bottoming pattern here, breakdown failure, and then it just took off on news. So this is on my watch list because the bigger time frames are bullish. I was watching this stock for over almost a month before we got on board, and here's where we got on board. And so here's an M top, so I'm still waiting for a pullback. It pulled back. It's still ugly. It's still ugly. Now here's my tell. The gap down under support, bullish engulfing close. Now you got my attention. I'm going to pay more attention to you now. And then I have 3 inside bars. I gave the alert to buy over the high of this green bar. It gapped over it, so we bought a 5-minute high there. I'm going to show you why we did it as a core long bullish turn at the 50 MA. So I have 7 bar base here, creating support. So this is my pullback. So think of it kind of as a buy setup, but a longer, sloppier one. But this is my reversal on support in something that had a momentum breakout. Now let's look, same stock, weekly and monthly time frame. So the weekly chart, this was my momentum move on the daily, these 2 weeks, right? 1 week is 5 trading days. So these 10 trading days was this big momentum move there. So on a weekly chart, I did get a buy setup, and it traded over the prior week's high with a price void. So the weekly confirms the bullishness of the daily chart. Now when I decide a core long means, hey, I think this multiple time frames, the holding period could be weeks to months, not days like a swing trade. A swing trade to us is like 1 to 10 days. This is weeks to months. So this is what the monthly was, what we call a climactic buy setup, CBS. This thing went from what, 210 down to 20 and change. That's a climactic buy setup. I have 3 bottoming tails in an area of support where it broke out in 2020. And now, check this out. I put a little box around it. So green bar, red bar, big green engulfing bar. This is another particular name that we give called a bear sandwich. That's a bullish continuation pattern. And then we had a closing wide range breakout on the monthly chart with an inside bar that stays in the upper third. That's what we call a master trader 1, 2, 3 continuation. And we have a price void, which means insignificant resistance to the left. Well, these overlapping bars would be the first target. So just kind of eyeballing it, maybe 90 bucks would be first target. But as long as it acts well and we trail pivots, the next target is somewhere between 100 and 130 would be my second target on this. So that's in alignment. So we took the entry off the daily, but weekly and monthly suggest higher prices with a price void. That's why we gave this as a core long. We entered it last week and we're still in it. Here's another one we found on Friday. So we got my powerful momentum breakout We do not buy breakouts after multiple bar moves, particularly if they go from the bottom of the range to the top. That is a novice, idiotic entry without, as I've been saying, a buy setup, a continuation pattern, a building support over time. We have different tools, but it is not here. So this one, I'm waiting for my retracement setup because that's a bullish move. I have a bullish weekly and it's on my watch list for next week. I have no idea if or how it will set up, but this is how I find trades of interest that I watch day by day to see if they set up like PDD did the way I like it. Come check us out in the Master Trader Green Trading Room. My partner Greg Capper and I, we start at 9 a.m. Eastern. He does amazing pre-market analysis. We do SPX 0 DTE level analysis. We look at gap trades, new trades, open trades, answer questions, and then throughout the day, it says here, you're watching us implement the Master Trader method, our technical approach, in real time. So we're scanning together, trading together, answering questions, having fun. Spend $7, get to know us in real time. Hope that helps. Any questions, email Greg or me, and look forward to seeing you in the next trade review video.